How you doing?
I'm good, Khaled. How are you?
Good, good. Long time, and congratulations on the new role of transportation minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's good to be back with you, to speak with you and your viewers. You have become you and Insaga and Insta Live have become an important part of providing information to the people of Mississauga. So let me thank you for all the work that you've been doing that I've been following. And you and I also talked at the beginning of the pandemic. It feels like a century ago, but I'm glad to be back with you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm trying. I'm trying my best just to get information out to everybody. So a lot of questions, and so let's start with the most important thing: vaccines. Um, the vaccine rollout obviously has been a little bit difficult. Is there a backup plan if Pfizer and Moderna cannot keep up with the orders?
Look, you probably have heard our government officials and ministers say, and the Prime Minister say this on many occasions, that Canada has the most diverse portfolio in the world. And there's a reason for that, right? The diversity is adds safety cushion. So yes, that's why we have an agreement with the top 7 or 8 vaccines in the world, so we don't just rely on one vaccine. And let me just say as well that I know Canadians understand when you have an operation this of this magnitude, of this pace, and of this novelty, where like I don't know if anybody recalls the creation of a vaccine in this short period of time, and then the production of vaccines. So I think people understand that this is a complicated process, and it's not surprising that occasionally there are some hiccups. What I think we need to continue to focus on is obviously mitigate these hiccups, but make sure that we still achieve our goal. And our goal remains that have everybody who wants to get vaccinated be vaccinated by the end of September. And we feel confident that we're going to get there.
Okay. Let's talk about transit. I'm going to talk more local transit.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of Mississauga. I know. So if you're just joining me, I'm here with Omar Alghabra. He is Mississauga MP, but now representing Canada as a transport minister. So, but your heart's still in Mississauga, right?
Absolutely. Mississauga has stuck with me over the years as a political candidate, and the people of Mississauga have been the kindest to me. So I will never forget who I represent and who I work for. I mean, I work for the people of Canada, but certainly Mississauga will always be where I belong and who I represent.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about a very regional project, the Mississauga Link. I know on January 12th, I think Pat Sato, Ward 9 councillor, congratulated you and asked to look into the Mississauga Link idea to see if you can do any more on that. Is there any?
I think you're talking about the missing link. The missing link.
The missing link, yeah. What did I say?
You said the Mississauga link.
The missing link. I apologize.
But that's good. It's because Mississauga is always on our mind, and we'll always add the word Mississauga in front of any word to
Exactly.
look. The missing link is something that I've been interested in ever since the idea had come about. Because to explain to your viewers, the idea is we need all day two-way GO train on the Milton line.
Yeah.
So that's right now, as people know, that we only have rush hour GO service on that line. And the reason for that is because those lines are shared with freight train. So they only have time available for GO is in the morning and in the afternoon. And ideally, we would find a way to move freight train off that track so GO can use it all day two-way.
Yeah.
So the proposal has been presented, in fact, to the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister had come and met with the Mayor Crombie at City Hall a couple of years ago. So this project needs to be discussed with Metrolinx. Metrolinx, as you all know, runs and operates GO. So they need to put it on their priority list. They need to talk to the province and then come to the federal government with a proposal. We don't have yet, we have a concept, but we don't really have a solid proposal. You will find me to be a supporter of this project, but there's still more work that is needed at the provincial level as well. Once we do that, once Metrolinx submits a proposal, we need to talk to CP. So there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of still unfinished business. But I'm a big supporter of this idea.
Okay, I'm going to throw in one more transit question. The Mississauga Loop. No, it's just called the Loop. I just keep on throwing Mississauga to everything. The city center loop.
Yeah, this is, again, to explain to your viewers, this is an extension or part, the original design of the LRT, the Ontario LRT, was supposed to have a loop that goes around city center, goes around the Square One area, picks up traffic from Sheridan, from all the condo buildings, from Square One. And regrettably, and this was approved by the previous provincial government to be funded fully by the province. And unfortunately, the current provincial government, the Ford government, decided because of some cuts to cancel the loop to save some money. I've always said that I support the concept of the loop. It makes sense. This is where most of not only residents are, or not most residents, but there's a high density of residents there. There's also a lot of people work there. There's going to be future commercial development there. So it makes sense. And I offered to the provincial government is that, look, the province, the provincial government decided to fund the entire project. If the province wants federal support, they should come to the table and ask for some funding. They would need to prioritize it though. So it's up to the provincial government. Again, I am personally supportive of returning the loop, and I hope we can see it happen. But at the moment is again the decision of the province.
Okay, let's talk about your portfolio, airports.
But can we talk about further transit? Because just a week ago, our government, along with the provincial government and the city of Mississauga with Mayor Crombie, we announced additional funding for transit, including an exciting project, which is a rapid bus along Lakeshore. So Mississauga Lakeshore is getting a rapid bus transit. And that was it is co-funded by the federal government. The federal government is putting about $60 million. The province is putting about $50 million, and the city is putting $40 million. So that's that's $155 million project. That's an exciting project. So it's and was announced just about 10 days ago, where I announced it with the federal minister of infrastructure, Minister McKenna, along with the provincial minister of infrastructure. So that's something worthy of note to your viewers, as well as I'm still hoping to see an approval for the Dundas rapid bus proposal. There's ongoing due diligence being done on it, but I hope I am supportive of that project, and I hope to see it happen and announced once the due diligence is completed, hopefully, unless there are some issues, but I hope it will be dealt with soon.
Perfect. Okay, let's talk about airports. I know that Canadian Airlines cannot fly to Mexico or the Caribbean right now until April 30th. Will airlines temporarily restrict flying to other destinations like the US, Asia, South America, Europe, and Africa?
Look, let me just say that today we are living in a very extraordinary times. I know people have heard it over the last few months, and it's worth repeating. Canadians have been sacrificing for months to protect themselves, to protect their family, and to protect their neighbors. There have been restrictive measures about who to visit. We shouldn't visit each other. We shouldn't, if we can, we shouldn't go to work. If we can work from home. So there's been a lot of sacrifices and adjustments that Canadians have made. And we've been calling on Canadians from last year to cancel all vacations, to cancel all non-essential trips. And we've been adding and implementing measures at the border, including testing that we've required earlier this year, that anybody who's coming to Canada needs to get a COVID test prior to boarding a plane on their way to Canada. And then as we are seeing these new variants, we've ended up adding more measures on travel. And as we are heading towards vacation season, which is spring break and March break, we really needed to send a strong message and take a decisive action to ask Canadians to please cancel all non-essential travel. And that ended up also leading into discussions with the airline, where they agreed to voluntarily suspend trips to destinations that we know the majority of Canadians go on vacation, the Caribbean and Mexico. So so Canadian Airlines, Air Canada, WestJet, Sunwing have agreed to suspend trips till the end of April to those destinations. Your question about other destinations, right now, there haven't been any announcement about that, but we've added new measures. So other than repeating the message, please don't go to vacation. It's not just to the Caribbean, even if it's to London, England, or to Florida, please cancel your vacation. It's important, again, for the health and safety of Canadians and for your health and for your safety. But what we've added now is that if you end up going, when you come back to Canada, other than the test that you're required to get prior to boarding, you will be asked to go, you'll be asked to be tested again at the airport, and then you'll be asked to go to a designated hotel where you get to stay at a hotel at your own cost. So probably up to $2,000, because those hotels are highly equipped for security and safety reasons and public health measures until the second test results come out. So we added these new measures again to protect against the importation of infection. So we're asking, please don't do this. And if you do this, you're going to be subjected to some what may consider understandably cumbersome measures. We don't take any joy in this, but it's really important to protect the health and safety of Canadians.
Just in regards to snowbirds, because you brought up the isolation center, what are your thoughts on them being asked to be, they want to be exempted just because they were already there prior to, you setting these rules up? Will you give them an exemption?
I think it's very difficult. I mean, these measures are not done as a punitive way to punish anybody. These measures are done to protect the health and safety of Canadians. We've been clear from the beginning, please avoid non-essential travel. I know there are many families who are accustomed to taking these trips. So we are now giving notice to Canadians who are coming back. They will be subjected to these additional health measures. And again, it's not done as a punitive way. It's done to protect the health and safety of Canadians, particularly with the rise of these new variants.
Okay. And just one more thing, I've dealt with it, and I'm sure you've dealt with it as well, about, what the Bloc Québécois leader said about, to create division and mere political gain in regards to, talking about, a right-wing article about you. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Look, Khaled, let me say the vast majority of Canadians are respectful, are inclusive, are not racist. They do not believe in stereotypes. And I stand before you as an example. I've been elected multiple occasions. I've been supported by people from all backgrounds, and my job is to represent people of all backgrounds. Occasionally, there tends to be a small number of people who have political agenda that tends to be associated with the hardcore right wing that trades in the business of promoting fear and stereotype and division, suspicion amongst each other, questioning loyalty, questioning integration, and which is really, really unfortunate. So I think most Canadians totally reject that. They know what the purpose behind it. My record as a public servant is not new. I'm not new to this job. I've been elected or in the public sphere for 15 years, in and out of office. My record in the House of Commons and outside the House of Commons stands for itself about who I am. People judge me for what I stand for, what I speak about, and what I vote on. But there are some people who want to just sow doubt in people's mind and hope that people don't dig deeper below these questions, and hope that people just are afraid, become afraid. So it was disappointing to me that I wasn't surprised. I'm not surprised that some people do this. I was a lot disappointed actually that was a leader of the Bloc Québécois that decided to do this. But I in a way, I was really heartened by the reaction of Canadians, not only outside of Quebec, but even many Quebecers who criticized the leader of the Bloc for promoting false information, for false allegation, and called on him to apologize or renege. But honestly, the reaction of the public, of many commentators, of my colleagues, of the Prime Minister has been heartening, and I'm really grateful. And this is the Canada that I love. This is the Canada that I know. We've moved beyond this. There are people that are still stuck behind and want to believe that if they trade in these stereotypes, they can gain some political traction. But Canada has moved beyond that. We are a proud nation of our diversity, because my neighbors are like me. They have similar experiences. Maybe they've come from different countries, but we're all, and if you've been here for generations, you have a teacher who's like that, or a doctor who's like that, or your kids and their kids are friends. So we've moved beyond that, and it's unfortunate that some people still think there are some way of gaining from it.
Omar, just want to say congratulations on your new role again, and I apologize because I think we went way over time.
I love speaking with you, Khaled. I love connecting with with my fellow Mississaugans, and I'm happy to come back on anytime you need me to be back on. But thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.